COVID-19. If you don't know what that is yet, you must probably live under a rock or have been in a coma. Anyways, for those who don't know what it is, it's a widespread virus that caused the whole world to shut down from the November of 2019 till this day as of recording this video in January 2021. This virus has been a struggle and a cause of the regrettable loss of many loved ones. Finally, after in-depth research and many trials, a very long-awaited vaccine has finally come out. And I'm taking it. By the way, if you're wondering, I am getting the vaccine. If you don't know what vaccines are, I do not know why I clicked on the video. Just go search it, go Google it, then come back if you want to keep on watching, alright? Alright, okay. There are 3 types of vaccines so far, but we won't get into that in this video. It saddens me to know that although what the people have gone through, there are people that among us that would not take the vaccines because of silly myths they found on the internet. Hello everyone, my name is Sam. I'm a college student aspiring to study medicine, and in this video I'm going to be answering to a group of myths that have been found on the internet about the vaccines of COVID-19. I've got a whole... Okay. Number 1, the vaccines aren't safe. They were developed way too quickly. That's not fully false, as the vaccine did take only a year to be made, which is a short time for a vaccine, not gonna lie. But bear with me for a minute. Let me tell you an article written by Nicola Davis. A question was asked, how come the vaccine came out in the time span of only a year? She answers, our key consideration is funding. Public and private cash has been poured into the race for a COVID vaccine, pushing aside the usual financial concerns facing pharmaceutical companies. What's more, demand and urgency are high. The fact that governments pre-bought the vaccines meant that people could take greater risks with what they did at an earlier stage without having to take one step at a time. Okay. Traditionally, vaccines are developed by weakening it or killing a virus by producing a part of the virus in the lab. However, this is time consuming. Instead, both the Oxford University's AstraZeneca and Pfizer BioNTech vaccines were developed using different platform technologies that involves slotting genetic material from the virus into tried and tested delivery package. Once introduced into the human body, this genetic material is used by the protein making machinery in our cells to churn out the coronavirus spike protein, triggering an immune response. By the way, I have to read. Yeah, ignore me just looking somewhere else. I have to read because this is a lot and I cannot memorize it. Moving on, this approach was aided by the speed at which scientists in China identified and shared the genetic sequence of the new coronavirus, and that's how the vaccines came out fairly quickly. Alright, next point. We don't know what's in the vaccines. That's false. I can Google it now and I'll find the answer. The ingredients are there, just go and Google it. I think it's there in the NHS website, maybe. Go Google it then, in the Oxford University's website or Pfizer's website. Number 3, vaccines result in long-term effects in the body. Now, personally, I do not remember having long-term effects on my body because I've had my fair share of vaccines throughout my life for tetanus, the flu, etc., etc. But according to Dr. Cunningham, with vaccines, if there is going to be a complication or side effect like an allergic reaction, or for example, or a headache, it will occur within minutes to hours of receiving the vaccine. So there's no long-term effect. It just might come almost immediately, or might not come, depending on how healthy you are. That the myth is false. Next point, COVID-19 isn't real. I haven't seen anyone die. That means you've been living under a rock. Right? Oh, you're completely oblivious because, okay. Number 5, you can get COVID-19 from the vaccines. I do not even know how people come up with that. Okay, like I said earlier, vaccines are developed by slotting genetic material from the virus into a tried and tested delivery package. So they won't get the virus itself, they will not put it in a vaccine, right? Once introduced into the human body, this genetic material is used by the protein making machinery in our cells to churn out the coronavirus, the spike protein, right? Triggering an immune response. So there is no live virus inside the body. Yeah, so vaccines won't cause you to get the virus, and it will not cause you to die, but the virus will cause you to die. You've seen, like, you cannot tell me that you haven't seen these charts all over Google, everywhere, about the deaths and infection ratio. Besides that, what would anyone gain from spreading the virus even more via vaccines? I'm pretty sure the government won't gain anything from it. Like, all countries' economy have went to hell because of this virus. Anyways, moving to the next point. Number 6, I've already had COVID-19, so I do not need to get vaccinated. Well, yeah, but no. As your body did already make memory cells for yourself after getting the COVID, which you might not have got, you would still need the vaccine. Allow me to elaborate. COVID-19, as you've seen, is not like any other virus. It's a highly infectious, and although you might have got it before, the risk of reinfection remains very high. The vaccine have proved to show that it offers way more protection than your memory cells and your ego. So de-inflate that ego and go take the vaccine. Number 7, people with underlying conditions shouldn't get vaccinated. I'm about to give up at this point. This is obviously false. People with suppressed immune systems, like from cancer treatments or autoimmune diseases, should definitely get vaccinated. The vaccine will not hurt you since it doesn't contain a live virus, like I said about 5 times before now. Those with suppressed immune systems will still get protection from COVID-19 via the vaccine, but just not as much as protection as those with healthy immune systems. But nonetheless, you can speak to your doctor if you have concerns about it. I'm not a doctor, I do not have full information about this. And by the way, I want to ask, if you would not believe a doctor when he tells you to take a vaccine, who else would you believe? Because I'd rather believe someone that has more information, has thorough, real research about the topic, about the subject, than some Twitter tweet or some Facebook post written by Karen or someone like that. And why? Come on, people, come on. Next point. The COVID-19 vaccines will alter your DNA. Really? Imagination is that big? The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines use messenger RNA. If you do not know what RNA is, I'm going to put the definition here. The Pfizer and Moderna vaccines use a messenger RNA to protect us from COVID-19, and I think that is where the rumor comes from. mRNA basically gives our cells blueprints for the factories that will build the protein to protect us from COVID-19. People get scared that mRNA will cause the virus to go into our DNA and mutate us, but it does not even go into the center part where the cell, in the cell where we have our DNA. Besides that, what kind of show did you watch get the idea from? I genuinely want to know, honestly. Comment it down below. Number 9, if you get vaccinated, it could make you infertile. I'm giving up at this point. People these days, man. People these days. Oh my god. But then again, you've seen that on Facebook or Twitter and didn't bother to study the female anatomy or ask a doctor, have you? No, Karen, there is absolutely no data from the clinical trials or any theoretical reason as to why the vaccines could cause infertility. In fact, we know that pregnant women with COVID-19 infections could have miscarriage or go into premature labor, which is all the more reason to get the vaccine. So to all the pregnant women who do not want to get the vaccine, please. I would love for your children to grow up, to be born and grow up healthy, please. And another myth related to that is that if a woman is breastfeeding her child, then she should not get vaccinated. Well, ma'am, that's false, and you can go ask a doctor after this video. I did this based on research, by the way, but nonetheless, you can go ask a doctor. He has more information than me. He or she is more experienced than I am. The CDC believes that it's fine for pregnant women to get the vaccines, says Dr. Cunningham. If you're pregnant and in a group that should be urgently vaccinated, like a healthcare worker, you should get vaccinated. If you're concerned about the risk versus the benefits, like I said, please go ask a doctor. But we know pregnant women who contract viruses can have complications or pass diseases to their babies, and the same goes for breastfeeding. Since the vaccine is not a live virus, you can't pass anything to the baby. That's a different myth. So yeah, get the vaccine. Right. Number 10, once I get vaccinated, I do not have to wear a mask or practice social distancing. You know, sometimes people amaze me by how dumb they are. You absolutely still have to wear masks and social distance if you are walking around in public. How do you know who is vaccinated? No vaccine is 100% effective. These vaccines are 95% effective. That is a high percentage, nonetheless, so don't get skeptical. But that means that there will still be 5% of people who won't be protected. Get a vaccine, wear your mask, and then a few months later, when we know that everyone has been vaccinated, we can go back to the life the way it was. Number 11. COVID-19 is no worse than the flu. It's actually very much worse. It's far deadlier and far more infectious, and you can find all the statistics online aside from Facebook and Twitter. Right? Number 12, and the last one. The vaccine is a part of a conspiracy of Bill Gates putting a microchip into my brain. If you actually believe that, then you're watching way too many shows for your own good. Stop watching Netflix, get off Disney Plus, get off the TV, get off your phone, go read a book, do something useful, alright? And this covers most, if not all, myths about the COVID-19 vaccine. And if you're not convinced yet, please go to a doctor and ask him or her, or search up the NHS website. Please protect the NHS and take the vaccine and stay home or social distance. My father is part of the NHS and I hate for him to get the virus after all the work he's been called to due to the virus. I make a video of what happens to me, hopefully when I myself get the vaccine. So if you want that, leave it in the comments below. I'm gonna do that in the hopes that you people who are still skeptical about it can see what happens to me. And yeah, that concludes our video. I hope you got something useful from this video. If you have anyone that still wants to know about the myths, please send this video to them. Please leave a like, share and subscribe. I am gonna leave my social medias down here on the side somewhere. And yeah, it's been Sam, and see you in the next video.